The first sign that something had shifted came from her laughter. Too loud, too polished, as if rehearsed. It was her company's annual party, a night meant to celebrate success, where partners were paraded as trophies. I stood near the bar, tie loosened, pretending to enjoy the chatter, while sipping a drink that had long gone warm. When her boss joined us, the air thickened with perfume and ego. My wife introduced me, her hand resting on the woman's arm a little longer than necessary, her tone syrupy and sweet. The boss smiled, all confidence and charm, and leaned close enough for her breath to brush my ear. "If you ever want a real woman who values you," she murmured, sliding her card into my jacket pocket before pulling back with a smirk. When my wife turned, she saw it. The gesture, the smirk, my frozen surprise. For a fleeting second, the facade slipped from her face. I caught a glimpse of the truth beneath her practiced calm before she quickly rearranged her smile. That was the night I realized something fundamental in our marriage had cracked. We'd been together for 6 years. Once upon a time, I admired her drive, her intelligence, her fire, her relentless hunger for more. I believed her when she said she couldn't have achieved anything without my support. But somewhere along the way, I stopped being her partner and became her shadow. Each of her victories came with an invisible cost, a little less space for me, a little more distance in her eyes. The signs had been there all along. The way she subtly corrected me in public, the look of mild irritation when I spoke too freely, the silence that filled our home like fog. Love, I learned, is a blinding thing until betrayal brings everything into sharp focus. After that party, I didn't confront her. Neither of us mentioned what happened. Pretending had become our shared language. But something inside me shifted. I started noticing the details, her late nights, the endless client dinners. The phone always flipped face down. Then one evening, she said she was meeting them for drinks. When I asked who them was, she stammered and changed her story. That was all the confirmation I needed. I bought a separate phone, installed a tracker in her car, and synced her messages to the cloud. The truth unraveled quickly. Late-night texts, hotel bookings, photos, inside jokes at my expense. She wasn't sleeping with her boss, not yet, but the emotional intimacy was unmistakable. She was confiding in her, mocking me, turning our marriage into office entertainment. She was already rewriting her life story, one that didn't include me. I didn't explode. I planned. Revenge, after all, is best served methodically. I gathered evidence, screenshots, receipts, correspondence. I quietly moved assets into a trust under my sister's name. Then I scheduled a meeting with her boss. Over coffee, I thanked her for her offer at the party. She laughed, unbothered, and said she'd meant every word. When I mentioned how highly my wife spoke of her, she gave a sly smile. "Oh, I know she does." That was enough. I played my part well. Flattered, curious, interested. She thought she was reeling me in. I was setting the stage. A month later, I arranged a dinner, booked the same hotel where they'd once had their so-called strategy meetings. I told my wife it was to celebrate her team's recent success and invited her boss too. She believed every word. The night arrived. She wore the red dress I once told her made her look dangerous. The irony wasn't lost on me. Dinner was smooth, polite laughter, compliments, the illusion of harmony, until I raised my glass. To partnership, I said, in life and in business, both built on trust. Then I placed my phone on the table. Its screen glowed with a carousel of screenshots, their messages, their jokes, their shared mockery. The color drained from both their faces. My wife's hand shook, her glass tipped, red wine bleeding across the white tablecloth like a wound. "You think I didn't know?" I asked quietly. "You think I'd let you play me while I finance your little empire?" Her boss tried to speak, but I stopped her with a look. "HR already has everything. Legal too. The board will get it next." Silence fell heavy. My wife's lips trembled as she whispered, "You can ruin us." I stood calm. "No," I said. "You already did. I'm just finishing the cleanup." I dropped her boss's business card onto the floor as I walked away. Within a week, her boss was suspended pending investigation. My wife's career crumbled beside hers, a shared downfall they had built together. I didn't need to say anything. The rumors did it for me. When she came home, she begged, not for forgiveness, but for control. She wanted to rewrite the narrative, to salvage what remained of her pride. I let her talk until she ran out of excuses. Then I handed her the divorce papers. Consider this your fresh start. I told her, you always wanted one. That was the first time she truly broke. Not with tears, but with understanding. The kind that only comes when you realize too late who you've underestimated. 6 months have passed since then. The house is quiet, peaceful. Sometimes I find that old business card tucked away in a drawer, its edges bent, ink fading. A reminder of the moment the balance shifted. They say revenge doesn't bring peace. Maybe not, but it brings clarity. I wasn't her embarrassment. I was her reflection. And when she finally saw herself through me, the world saw her, too.